"Sounds good," Gary replying, Hank having just asked if he wanted to join him and Don Bryant in signing up for Police League summer baseball, the three having played a lot of sandlot baseball in the past. Co-sponsored by the Oakland Recreation Commission and the Oakland Police Department, and given the date to be at Arroyo Viejo Field for an organization meeting and team assignments. The three discovering their team was sponsored by the Mills Merchants, a group of businesses located in the Mills College area. It was Gary's first association with a sponsored team. All the players receiving a dark blue t-shirt with their sponsor's name, Mills Merchants, across the front. Games and practices were scheduled weekday mornings and afternoons, supervised by the Oakland Recreation Department. The sporting event was strictly a student participation activity, held weekdays in the morning or early afternoons, parents almost never in attendance. The team wasn't very good, and after the second game Don's interest began to wane, finally deciding to quit. Gary wasn't too surprised, as Don wasn't into sports like Hank, and with Don's departure, it gave him an opportunity to borrow Don's baseball glove, as it was an expensive Rawlings, a far better glove than his. Outfitted with his .33 Whitey Lockman Louisville Slugger bat, and Don's professional glove, Hank and Gary would bicycle the streets of Oakland, to one of their three league playing parks, Arroyo, Elmhurst, or Brookdale. When returning from the late morning games at Arroyo or Brookdale, the boys would stop at Pop's Diner, across the street from the giant Chevrolet plant complex on 73rd and Foothill Boulevard. It was a small lunch counter and fountain for the plant employees, no tables, just a counter with backless stools. Hot dogs 20 cents, hamburgers 25, bottle Coke 10 cents, and a small diminutive gray-haired man behind the counter, known to all as Pop. Followed by the trek up the 73rd Avenue grade, then the steep and tiring dirt path that let you avoid taking the 73rd Avenue long uphill switchback. With the advent of television, radio still had a captive younger audience, especially with personalities like Red Blanchard, who broadcast 5 nights a week at 9:30 p.m. on the 740 a.m. radio dial. It was a live audience, KCBS program from their studios in the Palace Hotel in San Francisco. The opening dialogue, "What is it? Bully, bully, bully." The password was Zorch, and Red never failing to mention his so-called 1916 Jaguar pickup. This was the Red Blanchard Show. Gary was aware live radio was waning, and soon would be an event of the past, with television becoming the predominant home entertainment. But Red was the #1 nighttime radio personality in San Francisco, and both he and Hank were devoted fans. It was unbelievable when Gary heard the news. He couldn't believe it. Never had a word been mentioned, not the slightest suggestion, the name of the program having never surfaced. The Mills Merchant baseball team was going to San Francisco for a live broadcast of the Red Blanchard Show. The adrenaline was pumping as they entered the KCBS studio, Gary looking about, taking in the memorable moment, the broadcast studio being a large room with rows of seating for about 100. The baseball team was seated in the front row before a raised stage holding an array of musical instruments, including a piano and organ. There were several people positioned behind microphones, and directly in front of Gary, sitting at a table center stage, was a man with red hair. In front of him loomed a large microphone with a KCBS placard on it, and on either side were whistles, horns, noisemakers and other sundry items. The show began with his famous, "What is it?" sequence and then his theme song, the organ grinder swing, followed by some character impersonations, and an episode of Tombstone by Bogartas, with sound effects blasting the studio. Then the unexpected, Red with a handheld microphone, coming off the stage, starting down the row of Mills Merchants team player, asking each their name and playing position. A reverie come true. Never in his wildest dreams could Gary imagine an opportunity like this. The 30-minute live broadcast over. It was an iconic moment for Gary, a true radio fan, meeting a true radio personality.